Hello and welcome to week 3 of Turn Up Bear Down. I'm here again this week with Coach Matt Jansen. What's going on?
So I'm excited for this weekend, Justin Fields week. Hoping that we don't take a Browns today, if you know what I mean, or this weekend.
Yeah,
We don't put the Browns in the Super Bowl, so to speak, in his debut. So
for
little pun
sure.
there.
Yeah,
Hoping
but
things.
this is what we've been waiting for since draft night when we were told that Justin Fields would be a Chicago Bear. So is he ready? That's to be determined. However, he looked good at times last week. Obviously, the stat line didn't look that good, but there are a few drops that could have easily been caught, especially one, the big touchdown to Allen Robinson. And then he made one bad decision. But we are very excited. I'm excited. Let's get into this week. So, oh no, went too fast. Bears are traveling to Cleveland. I can't even remember. I think the last time the Bears played at the Browns, Jay Cutler was still our quarterback. And if I remember correctly, we won that game, and it was close. It was like 31-24 or something. But we won that game. That was back when they had Josh Gordon on their team. And I'm not.
Well, yeah, wasn't that like week 16 or something?
It
We needed to
was
win to get into
yeah.
the playoffs, and I remember
Oh
Marshall or Jeffrey catching either a touchdown or a play, a pass late, right, to
yeah,
steal the win or
yeah.
something.
He like took it away from a guy. I almost feel like or something. But I also remember that was when Josh McCown was our quarterback, and this was Cutler's first game back, and we were trying to make the playoffs. Little did we know that we would get beat by the Packers. Of course, that was the fourth and like 3 game or something, and the bomb to Cobb.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's get out of our
Let's move
heads.
on, please.
Yeah.
Please move.
So I just know too much about Bears trivia right off the top of my head. So Bears at Browns should be a good one. Let's look at some keys to the game. So I believe that the Bears defense is going to have to really shine in this one, and we need Eddie Goldman to show up because the Browns really have that two-headed monster with Nick Chubb and also
Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. Yeah, the ex-Chief turned Brown. So that's going to be really important. I think that helping Fields in any way, shape, or form, whether it's on defense, special teams, and also his supporting cast on offense, got to be catching the ball this week. Can't have these drops, especially if they're in the end zone or wide open. Can't end drives quickly in that way. And lastly, my other thought here is the play calling has got to be good. Can Nagy really call a good game for Fields? So, what are your thoughts on the Bears' keys to the game?
Yeah, no, I can answer your question about Nagy calling a good game, and that's no. So, and to answer your question, also, like let's look back. Justin Fields is not prepared for this moment. Is he a
That's
true
true.
pro already? Yeah, I can tell he's already a true pro. He's someone who I actually, think has a lot of good leadership qualities. I think people, if you look at the media, you look at some of the players in the locker room, they already noticed that. But it wasn't a fair competition coming out of camp. He didn't get the reps. Um, you know, how could he be ready for a game when and they wanted to protect him all year? So he won't. He's not ready. Bears fans don't expect Patrick Mahomes numbers. Don't expect some rookie mistakes. That's going to be okay. That's going to be part of our season. It's part of his growth. That's going to help him. Every mistake he makes, I firmly believe will kind of lessen the learning curve for him moving forward, and it'll be a good thing for us. So, but we are going to have to play complementary football. Let's just be honest. We've got a rookie quarterback who is talented, who can make plays and can make throws. But I do think it's going to be important that we play good defense and obviously run the ball with the fact that he probably doesn't have the full playbook yet, nor the reps. So I think it's only going to bode well for him and his development if we can kind of ease him in while playing. And obviously, third and short, our big downs. Because then, with his legs, we can utilize his skill set a little bit in that capacity. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it's not going to be gaudy numbers this week. Don't think of it that way. The Browns are a formidable defense. They got a crazy front seven, especially those two guys on the outside, Clowney and Garrett. So it's going to be. I really think it's going to be a low scoring kind of a old school black and blue slugfest.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with most of what you said as well, if not all of what you said. But There is one other interesting thing about this. Uh, Justin Fields is going to make his first NFL start back in the state of Ohio. So hopefully, a lot of Ohio State people out there to cheer him on. But for the Browns, I think their keys are to have a smart Baker. Baker's got to play well and not make a lot of those dumb decisions that he's made, especially in crucial moments like he did against the Chiefs Week 1. They need to dominate the time of possession, which has actually been one thing the Bears have done a really good job at this year, even against the Rams. We ran way more plays and had the ball for much longer. And I think that that's more of the Browns' staple. And can they do that? And lastly, can Clowney and Myles Garrett come off the edge and disrupt Fields? What else can they do on defense to show him different looks and things he's not ready for? And you already kind of alluded to the fact that he's not prepared for this moment. They didn't expect to start him potentially at all this year, and here we are in week 3, and he's already starting. So what do you
Yep.
think about the Browns' keys to the game?
Yeah, no, two-headed monster. Kevin Stefanski, has done a really good job over there in Cleveland. I think they were a surprise team last year, and Odell's going to play. How many snaps is he going to play? I'm sure he's on some sort of pitch count coming off the torn ACL. Obviously, first came back. He's a difference maker. Obviously, he's a key player to watch. Our defense is 8th against the run and 31st against the pass. So we've always done a pretty good job of stopping the run. With the exception of a few games over the last few years. And really our question mark is our secondary. With Jarvis Landry being out for the Browns, I think is Jalen Johnson is he going to stay on one side? I haven't really been watching that if he's been following number ones or he's been just staying on his side, kind of like Kyle Fuller used to do. So those other guys in their passing game that they have really unknown. I think Peoples Jones is one of their other guys on the outside. And they have another rookie, last name Schwartz, that they drafted in the 5th round. I think out of UCLA. That might be Raji's got to check that one, but
Yeah, he had a good game against the Chiefs, I think.
Surprisingly, they're okay. I mean, they have a decent little receiver group. Not to mention, they got 2 absolute donkeys in the backfield they can hand the ball off to. So we got to play a complete game start to finish. Obviously throughout the afternoon, and really excited to see whose edge rushers are going to be more impactful. Mack and Quinn or Clowney and Garrett this week. Because that's, look around the league, I don't know if there's 2 better tandems than those right there. So,
for sure.
And again, that's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, we'd like Eddie Goldman to play because that just continues to allow. I mean, Eddie Goldman, Akeem Hicks, Quinn, and Mack. That's a pretty good crew right there to attack.
Yep. You don't even say Nichols either. I think that's the best front 5 in the league when they're all healthy.
We haven't even had all those guys together because last year was Quinn's first year and Goldman didn't play. So, and then Hicks was hurt a lot of 2019. So, all right, let's get into our key players, and a lot of the key players also were kind of mentioned with the keys to the game. But for the Bears, obviously, it's going to start up front. It's a new start. It's the Fields era. We're excited. We can't wait to see what he's capable of doing under center. I'm also going to throw out Jason Peters. He had a couple nice blocks last week. It was even mentioned on the Bears feed, showing him with a couple pancake blocks. That is against the Bengals, however. And then Matt Nagy, the coach. This is really all eyes are going to be on him because even though it might seem like Fields is under the spotlight here, the pressure really isn't on him. He's a rookie. There's no pressure. He's going into a game that we're not favored to win. So I'm expecting big things out of Fields and the fact that there's no pressure on him. Peters, can he go up against Myles Garrett? Can he go up against Clowney? And can he win a couple of battles there? And then Nagy, really, he has to figure this out and get the scheme right, or else people are going to continue to put the I guess magnifying glass over him.
Yeah, like what you got here. Pressure. I think what I've noticed with Baker is because he can run. He's got some elusiveness to him. It's more about the pressure up front. Pressure, I would say, pressure in the middle with your 2 tackles or your nose guy. So pressure in the middle up front on him. And as far as the Bears, again, I would really like to see Justin Fields get out of the pocket. Some design rollouts, kind of like they did with Trubisky last year, cut the field in half. And I feel confident with him and his arm ability that he could do a much better job in those capacity. A-Rob in the slot. I think A-Rob in the slot is dangerous. So finding the matchup that you want with A-Rob in the slot, especially on third down. We really haven't seen the screen game that much with the backs. Listen, David Montgomery needs 20 plus touches a game.
We like the screens to the small receivers that are blocking, and smaller receivers blocking, and I just got blown up every time against the Rams and did not produce anything good. But,
right.
I agree 100%. Since we started this show, David Montgomery's been the guy that we just can't stop talking about.
Right. And, defensively, that new coordinator, Sean Desai, I'm calling him out, man. Let's do disguise some coverages, disguise some blitzes. Let's do some zone blitzes. It doesn't need to be just rush 4 and drop everybody. I feel like that's kind of our go-to and kind of our vanilla generic defense we like to fall into. We like to play the numbers game instead of really trying to force the quarterback's hand a little bit. So I'd like to see a little bit more aggressiveness and a little bit more diversity in how he calls a game. I know he's, again, very young coach. He's only been doing it now this will be his third game. So, we got a young staff for the most part, coaching staff, and they're continuing to evolve, I think. I think now a couple games under his belt, it's time for him to really step up and really start to – you have a veteran defense. I mean, there's nothing that you can throw at them that they haven't seen before or will be able to adapt and try to have some success with. So throw the kitchen sink at Baker Mayfield. He's seen a lot in this league, but he hasn't seen everything yet. He's not like he's played as long as Tom Brady. So you can still get away with some stuff that some other quarterbacks have already seen. So
yeah, for sure. I agree. And I actually think after week 1, I would have said that, oh my gosh, is this new defensive coordinator going to get it done? But I have to say that was against the Rams, and it was week 1. Plus, he just doesn't have the players he needs necessarily in the secondary, if we're being honest. Like Vildor and Duke Shelley and even Gibson. And Eddie has not played very well in the last few years. So he has to make it work with guys that are honestly not able to get it done. But I will say he rebounded well against the Bengals. I know they don't have the best offensive line, but they did get a couple guys in the draft. And I think Joe Burrow is a good quarterback, so I was really pleased with what happened last week, especially getting all the turnovers, which was something we lacked a lot of last year and even the year before that. Going off of what we have here for the Browns, though, I think Chubb is just a beast of a running back, and we've already mentioned him, so we won't talk about him too much. But Myles Garrett does worry me a little bit as just a game disruptor, and can he force Fields into a couple bad decisions, maybe get a strip sack or 2. I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. And then lastly, as we've already said, can Baker Mayfield play a good game, or will we be able to force him into some bad decisions? And I know that would be my game plan if I was Sean Desai. I would make sure that we're putting Baker in a bad position quite a few times, especially with Khalil Mack coming off the edge.
Yeah. And just think about the two difference in two teams. If you were to tell me, what do you feel more comfortable? Who would you feel more comfortable with as far as having Garrett and Clowney go against our edge tackles or vice versa with Mack and Quinn against theirs? So I like Peters. Again, he's getting up there in age, but again, he's still a solid veteran. I'm not so sold on our other tackle. So again, I think they have the advantage there. At one time, Myles Garrett, I mean, you could say Jadeveon Clowney was one of the premier pass rushers, over the past 5-6 years. I know so was Mack, but I don't think either one of those guys gets enough attention as Mack does. Mack, just a lot like Aaron Donald, is always being double, triple teamed on every play. He's never ever going to see a one-on-one ever again. So really hoping that our edges hold up so that we at least have a chance and Fields isn't running for his life Sunday.
Yep. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and talk about our predictions. So I have the Browns. Oh, no. The Browns are beating the Bengals, apparently, on this. We need to run this by our editor. But the Browns over the Bears 27-20. I just think that we're not quite ready for this kind of a victory, and maybe it's even one where we're down 27-13 and we get a late score. I think Justin Fields will play well, and hopefully we don't get in too many bad situations. But the Browns are just too solid right now, and especially with their running game. And I don't trust our defense to go into Cleveland and get a victory. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way. I think Monty gets 2 touchdowns, and I think we win 24-14. Like I said, I mean, I think Odell again is going to be on a pitch count. He's pretty easy to fluster if he doesn't get the ball. He can kind of become a cancer on the sideline, and that's what we want. We want him to get flustered. We want him to be act out of character, so to speak, or whatever. But I think our defense is going to build on what they did last week. And on paper, that game looks way more dominant if we don't allow the Bengals to score kind of those 2 cheap touchdowns while we're up. While we're up 3 scores. I think if it was different circumstances, it probably would have been a different result. But I think we add on it, and I'm not as scared. I'm not as scared about with Baker. If we can stop the run, I think we can really have our way a little bit with that offense. So I'm going to say we win. I'm going to say we pull it out. We're 2-1.
All right.
And Green Bay is going to be 1-2, and we're going to be looking down at Aaron and those Packers. So
sounds awesome. And then next week we will play the Lions. So that'll be interesting to see with the new look Lions team. They didn't play so badly against the Packers for a half, and then it kind of went away from. But hey, that is all we have for this week on Turn Up Bear Down. Week 3 will be in the books. Excited for this game on Sunday. It'll be really fun as we enter the Justin Fields era. Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Bear down.
Bear down. Thanks for stopping by.